That was an exciting week in the crypto markets. We saw what looked to be a bottom about 2 nights ago, and we've been tearing up ever since. It's not just in cryptos and all the coins, but we've seen the same kind of action in the stock market. Despite everything passing all the tests, despite it looking really bullish, we are not out of the woods yet. We have quite a test overhead, and we're seeing some cracks in the floor at the moment. So this is Bitcoin. We had our official low hit right around 25,400. So very close to that ideal target. I think I mentioned 25K in my community post updates, and that happened on May 12th overnight. So 2 in the morning. So that happened about an hour after I went to bed. I was trying to buy that dip before bed. I end up buying the dip the next morning, specifically for Ethereum. The next morning would have put us at about probably in about the 1900s range. I think I bought some maybe 1850 to 1920, somewhere in that range. So I did buy my dip, and it's been exciting since. While Bitcoin and Ethereum have had very explosive rallies, the altcoins have gone even more parabolic, although parabolic might be a little too much to describe what's been going on. So if you were looking to buy the dip, that was the time to buy the dip. I know I've been getting a lot of questions. Is it time to buy it? When is it going to be safe? It's never really a safe time to buy the dip, but it's safer to buy lower than higher. So here's what we have on our Bitcoin 5-minute chart. We're going to look a little bit more into the closer into the structure, just to go over where it might be smart to buy again if you're looking for a buying opportunity, or if you haven't bought yet. We have what we were looking at as a 5-wave rally structure. I'm actually going to shift to Ethereum first because I deleted the impulse off my Bitcoin chart, but I was counting this top around 6:25 a.m. on May 12th as my 5th wave top. However, there's a chance that maybe this here was the actual 5th wave top. But regardless, there's a lot of impulsive looking action. There's clear 5-wave structures. Some of these are fractal. So shifting back to our Bitcoin chart, we have, I'm basically looking at this high right here as our overall first wave. So the optimist says that we have a 1-2 in place, and that we're about to push all the way up into this box for a 3rd wave. If you've seen my community post I've been putting out there recently, I mentioned that we want to see us get into that box at least to have 3 waves up. Now, whether it's a 3rd wave as in green or a C wave was yet to be determined. We've seen some downside action, so I'm getting a little bit less optimistic about the setup we have in place. So the reasoning for that thought process is that it doesn't matter whether we have a 5 up here or not. You have a 1, a 2, and ideally a 3rd wave into this box. Your 3rd wave will go somewhere between the 1.32 and the 1.618 extensions, and it's usually very powerful. It blasts right through. So we would ideally get to the very top of this box, consolidate, and then blast back through the top. Or we could get up to the 1.618 immediately. If we broke through the top of this box, that would probably put the pullback behind us for good. However, if we went anywhere short of that, if we got right to the bottom of the box, that would be an A equals C equivalence, which is common for a corrective wave. That would be a zigzag. That's what this orange arrow shows. If that happened, that would be an immediate crash warning if we fail to get through that box. Unfortunately, so far, I'm not even sure we're going to get into that box at the rate at which we're going. I could call this peak the actual first wave. I know I have that in my other chart for Ethereum. I'm going to look at that in a second. Right now, we're pulling back. If this really is a 3rd wave, this should really turn around relatively soon. There is a chance it's a 1-2 and a 1-2 nested setup. This could just be a smaller degree 1-2 before we blast off. If that is the case, that would be actually an optimistic sign, because if we hit the 0.618 in our nested first wave, we should blast right up to 35,000 on, well, eventually in the bigger 3rd wave, we'd be able to get right at 33,000 very quickly. If that is the case, that would happen pretty fast. I'm going to go back to my Ethereum chart just because I have a bit more detail here. So I have the alt pattern. Actually, I think I have in my Bitcoin Cash chart. Where did I put it? Here we go. So I'm actually going to shift it here. So we've already looked at Bitcoin and Ethereum. Those have a somewhat dependable pattern in place. It's getting a little sketchy. Altcoins are doing a different thing. As I've been doing in my past several updates, I've been using the Bitcoin Cash chart because all the altcoins are following almost identical patterns. Bitcoin Cash has the most clean looking extensions, the most clean looking structures. It's very visible. So that's why I'm using Bitcoin Cash as a representative, as a proxy for all the other altcoins. So if you're a Litecoin holder, Stellar Lumens, Dash, whatever it is, Solana, Bitcoin Cash is the one I'm using. I will definitely have more charts as we go for those individuals. So here we have the same setups. It looks different because we have this huge extension that also topped around the same time, and then a big dip. And to my eyes, this could be we may be forming a triangle. It's got that look to it, although we need a few more ups and downs before we have that some more undulation. So our primary pattern was this blue pattern, 1, 2, 3, deep fourth wave. The fourth wave did not overlap the first wave top. So technically a fifth wave would have been valid, but now that we've been kind of falling, it's hard to argue that we're going to see this happen exactly as is. So that leaves us with the pessimistic pattern, the bear pattern, which is red, that this is actually a big fake out C wave up, or this purple pattern, which again, I'm going to add on to our Bitcoin and Ethereum charts. This is 5 up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't love the proportions, but it could still be 5 waves up. So this could be a bigger wave 1, a bigger wave 2, and maybe we're in the midst of that nested 1-2 setup before we blast through. If that is the case, if we are falling purple, we need to turn around quickly and we need to blast right through the top of this box. We cannot linger here. No more lollygagging, no more dancing around. We need to get through right away, because otherwise, here's the scary part. This could be a C wave top. This could easily be qualified or classified as a 5-wave impulse down. So it could be a wave 1 down. We got a lower high. So that could easily be an ABC up for a wave 2. And we may be in the midst of starting a collapse here. That's what this orange arrow is showing. If that is the case, that is a danger warning. So I kind of wish that I figured this out about an hour after the market closed. I really should have bought some BTO puts. I was looking to hedge again once we had a good rally. I was really expecting us to get it in that box. This is again Bitcoin. We didn't see that, so I was going to wait until that point. However, the market doesn't always do what you want it to do, and well, you got to live with the consequences. We'll see. If this starts moving on the weekend, that could be an ominous sign. So that's just my great. You can't change the past. So again, if we can see a quick turnaround, that's good. If not, then well, the specter of a lower low does hold. Another point I like to make is that these are Bitcoin, Ethereum. The altcoins, again, do have their own pattern. So I know a lot of you guys are talking about alt season, altcoins diverging from Bitcoin, Ethereum. I'm still not totally convinced that's a thing. But if it is a thing, this is a good start because the shape is so different. The altcoins are kind of like a amplified leverage version of Bitcoin, Ethereum. They've moved much more spectacularly. Again, we had like 20-30% days in some of these altcoins yesterday. I believe Polkadot had a 30% up day yesterday. In the big grand scheme of things, it's not that impressive, but hey, I'll take it. If you bought that dip, good on you. So this is also the same situation in the equity space. This is the Dow. I might touch on the S&P 500 as well, in which, again, we have a very shallow 1-2 setup. Third wave could easily be a fourth wave here because of the law of alternation. Shallow second wave would mean you have a deep fourth wave. So that's somewhat credible as a fourth wave. And we're in the middle of getting that fifth wave up. If we get that, that would do a lot for us. It would give us a lot of encouragement that we are done with the downside. However, there are some technical issues with what we're seeing. I believe it was at least in the mini futures for ES. If I take my drawings off this thing, this could easily be basically a wave, B wave, and a C wave up. So even if we get that fifth wave higher, this looks like the low, but that actually could be a B wave. I know it looks really strange because it's inverted, but A, expanded flat B, and a C wave impulse up. If that is the case, we might have a little bit higher action coming on Monday, and then an absolute smackdown. For that reason, I actually hedged myself with some SPY puts. That's for my equities plays. That's what I do during the day normally. But it's just, again, correlations can't always be relied upon, but we're seeing similar situations in the cryptos and the equity space. So that is why we're not out of the woods. If you're looking to buy the dip, might not hurt to wait a little bit. Of course, as I mentioned, there will be more coin updates coming. So big picture, we did actually hit our retracement, ideal retracement boxes. Again, I'm going to go into more detail when we have our individual coin updates. Bitcoin got pretty much exactly where I wanted it to get. Ethereum, exactly where I was looking for. I was looking for about a $1,700 low. I think we got about $20 below that, 1680, something like that was our official low. And then a lot of the altcoins, Bitcoin Cash got into its box. Ethereum Classic almost got in the box. I was not expecting that. Dash was giving me a heart attack because it got very close to the major support below. And again, we're going to go over some more of these. EOS, I've been mentioning, did actually break its major support. So I know a lot of EOS fans watch my channel. That does not mean that the world is over and EOS is dead. It just basically means that while this first wave is invalidated, it could very likely mean that this whole thing was an A wave. The whole rally up into the middle of 2021 was a B wave. and we're just finishing off the C wave. So that would be the second wave off of our high in 2018. And if that is the case, that means we have a lot of rally upside. Or it could even mean that this was an A, this is a B wave down, and we have a C wave. Even if it's a C wave, remember, C waves go to at least the 1.0 extension of your A wave. So could go into the $20 range at minimum, could go much higher. 50s, 60s could still happen. So still a lot of potential overhead. I didn't buy my tranche of EOS back. So whatever tranche I had before, the half load that I had, the 50% allocation, I've just kept that. I'm not buying yet. I want to see a bit more upside confirmation. I'll have more details in the EOS video once that happens. So that is where we stand again. So for people who are still looking to buy, if we want more of a confirmation, ideally we would we would finish our 5-wave rally up, and then we'd have a 3-wave pullback. That would be the next best time to buy. There'll be a few more opportunities coming our way. And the other thing is I'll add this onto the chart eventually, or pretty soon, that this whole thing could be a first wave up. I don't love the proportions of it. If that is the case, we probably have a little bit lower to go. And then if this really is a third wave that's coming, this whole thing is a first wave. If you move your blue numbers up, if that's the first wave, we should see some spectacular upside. Otherwise, the market just messing with us, is pulling our leg. So stay tuned for many more updates. Subscribe if you haven't already. And if you enjoyed my video, don't forget to give me a like. Till next time, thank you for watching and happy trading.